it's not. That's not what I think about. And I don't know if she told us what she did think about. One of my other teachers, Chuck Hines, said gesture was the most important thing for him.
Oh.
There are other things potters can obsess about. Some potters make shapes to decorate. Some potters, but probably 80% of potters obsess about the line of the pot, the profile. It's not a bad place to start, folks. If you want to flip that on its head, and but if you want to flip that on its head, it's good, and go against the grain of that. More power to you. There's nothing wrong with that. That's what you will do. You're a contrarian, Susie. You're going to just go against it. Troublemaker.
Very much so.
I like that. I do that. You'll make great pots doing that. But this is a place to shoot for it first. Then when you want to say, I want to be a bad person and I want to slap that around, go for it. But obsess about this. And even before you get to where you want to go with your final, maybe you want to combine this with a movement that's maybe your work, really you want it to become about. This is your thing that you want to do. Then build it on this. It'll be better.
Okay.
It's like this is the drawing. It's like the difference between painters and drawers. Question I had a painter friend of mine, one of my teachers, do you have to be a good drawer to be a good painter? The answer is no. But if you are a good drawer, it probably won't hurt you, and it may in fact help you. This is the drawing. The painting is when you want to do all that other stuff. Okay? But if you want to get through this as a painter, if you're drawing underneath all that other stuff is really good. I mean, if you can draw, you look at Richard Diebenkorn, or you look at, some painters never address the drawing, but Diebenkorn was a great drawer. He's from that California landscape school, and you can see, man, his geometry and his drawing is just fabulous. But then on top of that, he's doing all that painterly stuff, and so it doesn't. That good drawing does not hurt Diebenkorn.
Right.
This will not hurt you as a potter. If it could hold you back if you get really, really mechanical about it and you get really cold and severe with it, yes, that might hold you back. But I mean, now as this develops, keep coming back. For you, Katie, you need to keep coming back. Don't take that line all the way down. Most of us, we forget to try and draw that line all the way down to there. And this is the hardest part. Do you see just how I improved it just that little bit?
Yeah.
And some people, I have potter friends, Ron Myers, I was giving a workshop, and he asked me, Bede, do you always work this slowly and take this much time? I work quickly up to this point. And he was kind of criticizing me. And Ron is one of my mentors, probably one of my teachers, one of my mentors. And he was criticizing me in a way, and he was saying, don't you think you should get a life, Bede, and kind of let things... And that's okay, Ron. Yes, I do this. My problem is, if I look at the bottom and I didn't take that time when I was making it, I'm so it's like, Bede, it'd be so much better if you would just... So, for me, I have to do that because I care about it. I'm disappointed. Now I'll fudge that back to get the crunchy little. I'll get a lot. I'll work backwards from that to get more sparkling stuff happening there. But I'll start here, and I'm going to leave this pot with you very quickly. But I'm starting to work around it. You see, I've built in a kind of a curve down here that I may not want eventually. We can take more of that off and straighten it. We can come straight out from there. So I'm going to start flowing a little bit from here
pulling at all as you do that, or
No.
just shaping?
And my right hand is just like a ballerina on there. It's barely touching. See that little wobble I got, that little shake? You'll get that a little bit till you get the hang of the dry shaping.
Yeah, the dry shaping is.
And sometimes you'll just get it, you'll just get it like I'm getting it now. But you just have to work through it.
Yeah, it's like a chattering, right?
Yeah. But it doesn't happen normally. I'm getting a little touch of it now. And I just need to talk to the clay and tell it to settle down. Now some of it's actually coming from my dry hand up here, so sometimes I will just add a little bit of water here and right here just to. And now I'm not gonna bring it in too much, but I'm gonna start to suggest
The line.
this coming in
Yeah.
and now, and part of the thing with Ron was when I do workshops, I'm making one pot and then one pot. So I'm slow the first one or two, but then as I make more and more, I get, my confidence of what I'm, like right now, I don't know what I'm looking for because it's not my pot. But I'm trying to just suggest that it's, moving these different parts. One of the things that took me a long time to do was also, some people use a mirror for this. Yeah. It's hard to get out, but I used to do, when I was much younger, I used to do this a lot. Now I don't do it very much because it's so hard to get back up. But I used to be off and on my wheel dozens of times as I was doing it to look at that profile and start. So you can be, mostly I don't sketch. You can sketch with a paper, but I can sketch with my eyes right now. I can't do it because it's not my pot. I have to take ownership of the piece. I have to eat it, I have to put it in my body. And it's not my pot, so I don't want to put it in my body. It's your pot. But all I wanted to show you was some of the refinement. Now later, I would rather go back in. I mean, I rib a lot, and you don't have to rib. I find that ribbing gives me more. I can then come back with a paddle. I can then come back with drawing lines. I can then come back and put slip on it to do this if I want. It lets me focus just on the drawing, and then I can do the painting on top of that. I can paddle it. I can press it. I can do anything I want. So that's why I do that.
Their canvas.
It gives me a canvas, and it allows me to focus on the first thing first, which is for me the form and the shape. And then I can go anywhere I want. We can then take, if we want to create this movement in this, we could try, and the one thing we could try in this later is we could try adding this rim, or you could try that additional spout, and we can hand build that. But pictures, you could really find. And then the thing you try to do is you try to find your tone in a form like a picture, and then you try to carry that into all your other work. So it's like all your little babies are coming home, It's like you bring them all home,
I would like to give it.
And give them that,
You were showing me yesterday, like you leaned, it has a feeling.
Yeah, that would go.
Did it back?
It would go really well with that, and then that can carry into your. And